Happy holidays. Happy holidays. Happy holidays. Guys, happy holidays. D-A-Z-E. It's Casey solo. Danielle's at work. I'm whiling the days away in a robe watching Mariah's World. Danielle and I are pretty much off through January, but we did want to release a little kind of bonus episode. It's less traditional. It's not really covering Housewives so much as it is we do a wine tasting with some wine you could bring to holiday parties for Christmas, for Hanukkah, for Kwanzaa, and for the New Year to try to get us into 2017. I think we need to be drunk to finish out this year. And then I am going to come back and just give you some musings on some very important cultural developments, which is Mariah's World, Ladies of London, and of course, Beverly Hills Housewives. And we will be back in January, starting January 4th, we will be back. We're going to start releasing our podcast in January again on Wednesday mornings. Of course, continuing to cover Atlanta and now covering Beverly Hills. And really just covering anything that feels like we need to cover. In fact, thank you guys so much for listening. This year has been so wonderful and made even more special by all the amazing fans and support and hilarious tweets and direct messages we get. It's been so fun. Danielle and I are humbled and blessed to have been included in Entertainment Weekly and New York Magazine's Best Podcast of the Year list. Guys, thank you. We credit you. We did nothing. Thank you, guys, and we hope you have such a happy holiday. We're going to segue into our wine tasting. Bye.
The weather outside is frightful, and the smile is so delightful. I'm Jewish.
Wow, you were.
I don't know. I do have a Christmas tree, and the fire is so delightful.
The smile is so delightful. Is that a joke?
No, it really wasn't. I thought it was. I don't know what happened. I got nervous.
Have you walked through a Home Goods?
Walked through a winter wonderland.
Wow, Danielle. Hi, I'm Casey.
I'm Danielle. I am obviously out of sorts.
You're not even drunk yet because this is a special bonus episode.
That's right. So we don't want to hear any complaints because it's bonus.
I don't want to hear we didn't talk enough about Housewives. We did talk enough about Housewives.
You can't see it. You can see it.
You know what, guys? This is just a holiday bonus special all about alcohol, which is, I'm so excited to be here.
We talk a lot about booze on the Bitch Sesh podcast, mainly rosés, but
mainly a brand that shall not be named.
Yeah, it's the Voldemort of rosés
that we once hailed and now have turned on viciously.
Yeah, viciously. Many people would say it's undeserving of the viciousness.
Many times in my spiritual journey, my path that I walk, I've thought, forgive everyone, but I won't forgive them.
I know.
I'll tell you what, Danielle, I'm so happy to be here. We are sitting here with a bunch of friends who are in the Nook.
People are here. It's tight, but it feels good. It feels warm.
It feels really cozy. It feels like the weather outside. Sorry, that was so
and
stupid.
The tile is so delightful. Is that right?
Green Mile is so... Okay. Guys, this is a special little episode. Okay, so this is how this all came to be. A dear friend of mine by the name of Daniel Libman was a writer on Happy Endings and Marry Me, and he's delightful, and I love him so much. He's so funny. And his wife, Lindsay Libman, works in the wine biz, guys. And she sidled up to me at a Happy Endings event and she's like, I heard what happened with WA. And she's like, I have a friend who's a winemaker. I can bring so many great wines for your listeners to try for the holidays, be it Christmas, Hanukkah, Kwanzaa, or New Year. And here we are. And she's brought a winemaker who's sitting with us in the Nook.
And you guys, I gotta say, he's Australian and it feels right.
And what else, Danielle?
Gorgeous.
Okay, I have to tell. Okay, so this gentleman, who will be named in 1 second, well, his name is Matt Steele. He came into the house, and Danielle and I were like, oh, we're so crazy, we have to keep working. And so then we shut the door, and Danielle's like, ah!
I did silently screaming, Matt,
Look.
as to not let you hear what was in my heart.
I'm sure-
I am a married woman with child.
Married to a Matt. Maybe it was just his name, Danielle.
No.
And look, Danielle, I agreed. And I was upset. I let my rosacea get the best of me and didn't put on foundation tonight. Anyway, this is a podcast.
I have nary a lipstick on. What am I doing?
We've never had anyone here that I've been nervous.
Yeah. So,
Woo.
hi.
I thought Andy Cohen was going to be our big interview this week.
No, this guy. Ooh, hello.
Welcome, Matt Steele. He's like, oh, I'm humiliated.
I honestly don't know how to take that. But thank you very much. I'm blushing. So I'm the color of
and
rose
guys,
right now.
it looks good on him.
Much like Men's Warehouse, he's going to like the way he looks. Matt Steele, you are Australian.
Indeed. Yes.
Welcome to the Nook.
Well, what a nook. This is fantastic. I've heard about your nook and I was picturing something a little bit different.
Yeah.
But it is lovely and cozy and it is, what is it outside? It's
It's
The weather outside is
frightful.
yeah.
yes,
Yes.
and
Well,
The
Guileless.
Australian is so delightful.
yes,
But it's lovely in here and we've got some awesome wines to have a little bit of a tipple with.
Oh,
Tibble.
A tipple.
He's
yes.
speaking Australian.
Indeed.
I like on most programs you're used to seeing like men sexually, harass a woman, and,
No.
and not on our show. It's the opposite.
No, we're with her, and by her we mean sexual harassment. I don't know what I'm saying.
Danielle. Oh gosh, Matt, you've got a bunch of wines here. And this is what we're going to try. And we've posted all this information on Danielle and I's Facebook page. But we are going to go through a Prosecco aperitif, then a sparkling Brut Rosé, then a Sauvignon Blanc, then 2 Chardonnays, and 2 Pinot Noirs, which sounds like a lot. But we are in a quest to find something great for our listeners at a good price point.
Yeah, it's something that we can all drink while we're having the podcast, while we're entertaining relatives,
While we're fighting with family about the
Can I
election.
just interject there? Because
Sure.
I understand a lot of people listen to this podcast whilst driving. So I just want to make it clear that perhaps just only have 1 or 2 of these drinks while you're driving.
Sure.
'Cause, there's 7 we're going to
Depending
get
on
through.
how big you are. But yes.
Yes. I mean, I could. You know what? Don't tell our listeners what to do.
No, I won't.
You know what?
Okay, I'll refrain.
Matt,
I'll
let me tell
refrain
ya.
from that.
If they want to drink a bottle of this, no. What do we have in front of us, Matt? So this is the cutest little bottle of Prosecco I've ever
So
seen.
I want to paint a picture about this particular wine because Prosecco, it's a party drink. It's the thing you open up with. But there's actually a really cool thing I love doing with Prosecco. It's an aperitif, yes. So you can throw a straw in a little baby 187 of La Marca Prosecco with its fantastic label. But,
Go on.
But my mother-in-law, I've got to bring my mother-in-law into this because
please.
one of her favourite drinks involves Prosecco, and you take a little bit of Prosecco and you mix it with Campari. Now, it's a little more sophisticated. It's got a little bit of bitterness, but it is awesome, and it goes pink. So a lovely sort of different way to have your aperitif, if you will.
Sophisticated and bitter.
Just like us. I would say that sums me to a T.
That's perfect. I'm really excited. So this is called the La Marca.
La Marca. You can instantly recognize it. It's that pale blue label. And I've seen this wine being consumed everywhere. In fact, there's been over 1 million bottles sold of this.
Wow.
1 million cases, in fact. It's a huge wine, but it is fantastic value. I don't know what it costs, but it's in my fridge because it's my go-to to open when people arrive.
Yes.
And these are little sample bottles we're being given, and they're very tiny. And I just want to remind all our viewers, Danielle and I are not getting anything for this. We're truly trying to bring some fun drinks.
Yeah,
and
we're just trying to find a new drink for ourselves first, and you guys
public
second.
service.
Yeah, we're doing you a favor.
Okay, La Marca.
Okay, let's take a
Cheers.
little sip.
Cheers.
Cheers. Let's do this.
Oh yeah,
That's
There's a lot of
nice.
silence when people drink.
I know.
it's good.
I don't want to drink in the mic and have people have to hear me go like,
That's so gross.
it's not a nice look on me.
Not the
So,
wine.
To me, La Marca's the thing that you give. It's any occasion. You don't need an occasion for it. If you want to be a little more sophisticated, and it ties in with what you were talking about earlier, a sparkling rosé has that extra level of sophistication.
Okay.
I was expecting it to be sweeter, and it wasn't as sweet. So it was kind of nice because sometimes Prosecco, I had a Prosecco this weekend with my Thanksgiving meal that was very sweet.
Stop bragging.
Just saying, I had Korean food and Prosecco.
Yeah.
The American Thanksgiving. And it was very sweet. And this is not as sweet, which is what I'm enjoying.
Yeah, this is really good.
It's delicious, isn't
Delish.
Delish.
So should we move on to our next one? What do we have next?
Let me tell people that it's $13
Oh,
for a bottle and a mini bottle for $5. Just FYI. in
that's
case
really
people-
good. These little mini bottles, I have to say, you can twist them off. I'm dying. I love everything like miniature things.
Yeah, me too. The smaller, the cuter, and I'm more likely to buy.
Yeah, I want this in my stocking. It's really, really cute stocking stuffers.
And they're really easy to open. It's actually dangerously easy. You can just pop the lid, pop a straw in.
Again, whilst driving.
Yeah. Matt's
Okay.
not telling everyone to drive and drink
Now,
these.
I know.
I'm going to open up a bottle of our next wine.
Okay.
So, as I said, it's going up a level in terms of sophistication in my book. We've gone up from a 187 to a 750, a full bottle, but it's the colour. So this is the J Sparkling Rosé. And to me, this is just your perfect festive drink. And I know that look on your...
Ew.
We need to...
Why do we all act like the world exploded? When I hear a champagne pop, every time I'm like, oh, surprise me. It's so cheesy.
I know.
My reaction.
Ooh.
Bubbles up nice. Bubbles up real nice.
All right, Danielle's already drunk.
I had a sip and I'm
She
feeling
bubbles up nice, she does. Oh, wow.
So I've just given us a nice little taste to have with this.
And so this you're thinking you could bring over for New Year's.
Look, if my boss was coming around, this would be the first thing I open. It's sophisticated, it's classy, it's dry, so you can actually match it with almost anything, or you can have it by itself. That's the perfect way to open things. So barbecues and that sort of gathering when you got your friends coming around earlier, go the Prosecco. If it's a little more sophisticated or you've got some really foodie friends, this is an awesome wine.
Okay. So save this for the good people in your life, the people that
Luckily,
you care the most about.
I am my own boss. I can,
How much do you pay yourself, Casey?
not a lot. I'm not on
Any
salary.
benefits?
Ooh, that's
This
really
might
good.
be my favorite so far.
I've only had two.
I know. Well, I'm calling it now. This is lovely.
Now,
What was
what
it?
are those flavors I'm tasting? You know, Danielle and I are not
Sophisticated?
sophisticated in terms of wine. We know what we like, but what am I tasting in there?
I like to think of wines more like personalities.
Oh.
Okay. So I'm trying to think of Housewives, and I have to confess here, I'm not a devotee of the Housewives.
That's okay.
My wife is. And so
Are you two in a, would you say, a good relationship? Are things going well?
well, let me go back to the beginning. No. So I've got to say I've absorbed a lot. It's almost osmotic. That my wife's watched so much of the Housewives. It's an absolute escape for her. In fact, her and her auntie bond over Housewives discussions and pick it apart.
And remind us who her auntie is.
Well,
Julia Roberts.
No. So back in Australia, she's the governor of the state of Victoria. So she's a very
wow.
successful and wonderful woman. And
No joke.
no, seriously.
No, I know. That's what I'm
And
saying.
she likes the Housewives. Loves it,
and it's a great escape.
Yeah.
It literally is. And so Sesh, my wife, and Linda, Sash's auntie, they bond over this.
Yeah.
Do you think the governor makes rules and laws according to Housewives? Would she ever watch an episode and then be like, you know what?
Yeah, is she getting policy ideas from Phaedra and Portia?
Here's where she draws the line. If it comes from New York or it comes from Beverly Hills, I think it's considered.
Yeah.
But
Agree.
she won't go to Jersey for
Yeah.
policy decisions. no.
Agree again.
That makes sense.
Yeah.
Okay, so I really like this rosé. What am I tasting?
So back to the personality side, and
Yeah.
I would like to think that, and this might come out wrong, and you guys might laugh at me, but the perhaps most sophisticated person that I've observed on The Real Housewives is, I'm going to forget her name now.
Yolanda?
Lisa
No.
Vanderpump.
Yes.
Thank you.
Yes.
I mean,
Maybe
I
it's because
knew.
she's always carrying a dog and
Yes.
The height of
that's-
sophistication.
Yes. That is. It's an accessorized dog.
Yeah.
So, yes. No, but, she has a certain air about her. And
Oh,
Yeah.
she
yes.
does.
So, it's a more sophisticated drink. So just
She
perhaps more
wishes
Elisa.
that her own sangria line could approximate this.
Yeah, it is trash. She wished hers. This is beautiful.
Yeah.
I was really scared. I heard you guys talking about her sangria, and you also tasted a white wine that shall remain nameless at the same time. And I thought, I might be
Ramona Pinot Grigio.
You might be in for a bit of strife here. So I hope you're a bit easier on me.
I think
then.
you're a winemaker in the reality stars, so I think that you're going to be a cut above.
Yeah.
I hope I am.
FYI.
Yes.
And also, please know, Danielle and I never talk about anyone when they're in front of us. So
Yeah.
if we
like
say
that rule.
anything,
If we say
Matt.
anything,
Okay.
it will be in the next podcast.
I'm not leaving this seat.
Yes.
Okay.
Now, tell me when that one was called again, if people like this. And will you just describe the wine a bit?
Okay, so it's J Vineyards,
Yeah.
sparkling rosé.
Yeah.
And
It's sweeter.
it's a touch sweeter, but
Yeah.
it's a delicious, it's a method champenois. So it's fermented in that bottle, a really sophisticated, classy drink.
Well, we learned a lot about, I'm sorry to stop you, Champenois from Heather Dubrow this year.
Her Colette Champenois,
Yeah. Which was actually really good.
delicious.
No
to
longer
hear.
on the market.
Oh, well, J's on the market. It should be available all over the country.
Okay. So could I get this in a grocery store?
I would say you're more high-end grocery store or certainly a wine shop.
Okay.
Yeah, it's
great.
a $35 wine, so you're not bringing it to, just anybody.
No, God, no. You're buying it for yourself.
Yeah, to hoard at home while you watch a TV show by yourself on New Year's Eve. Cheers.
Yeah, honestly, best fucking New Year's Eve you can have. Wow, we're talking New Year's Eve. It's the best one I ever had. I just very quickly getting ready with friends. We're like, we're going out to the Abbey. We're going to go to a gay bar. It was like going to be a huge night. And I secretly took an Ambien. And they were getting to the door and I go, almost like a hostage, I go, guys, I can't go. I've taken an Ambien and you can't talk me out of it. And they're like, what? And I'm like, gotta go. And I went and just laid down on the couch, and I'll tell you to just take an Ambien. And I wouldn't recommend that with the wine, but however you want to do you.
Whatever your Ambien is.
Yes, be it this wine. And then to stay home and fall right asleep before New Year's.
Perfect.
That's a dream.
That's a lovely life.
And I feel like I could do that with this sparkling brut rosé.
It's a comforting wine then.
Yeah.
It is.
Very much so. But no, it's a delicious wine, and despite what you've just told me, I think it starts a party.
You're right. This starts a
But
party.
I will say, as you said, it's comforting too. And that's where we get it. Like this, I don't need anybody else if I've got this.
I mean, that's,
Which shouldn't be the best thing you should say about alcohol.
sound like
that
an
sounds like an
alcoholic.
addict, but I'm okay with that.
yeah, but that's honestly why a lot of people like alcohol. What's next? Now we have a Sauvignon Blanc, Matt.
Yeah, so I guess we're going in a progression. So we're going to make the flavors stronger and a little bit sort of more vital. So Sauvignon Blanc, it's actually an awesome grape to work with. When you make Chardonnay and all these other sorts of wines, you don't taste the wine in the grapes, but in Sauvignon Blanc, you actually taste the wine. And this particular Sauvignon Blanc, this is from Edna Valley on the central coast of California. And Edna Valley, or San Luis Obispo is where I live. It's my hometown, and it's a beautiful part of the world. It's halfway between San Francisco and Los Angeles. It has a perfect climate for growing awesome grapes, whether it's Chardonnay, Pinot Noir, or in this case, Sauvignon Blanc. And what we get with this particular wine is just we capture juiciness and wonderful fruit flavors.
So
it's-
you made this one?
Yeah, I did.
Oh,
yeah.
wow.
Like this
Tell me
bottle?
this name
This
again.
bottle,
This is
yeah.
Edna Valley.
Edna Valley Sauvignon Blanc from the
So
central coast of
cool.
And I
California.
have to say, even before you came into our lives, and I'm happy you did, but even before you sat here, I would buy Edna Valley. I would look for Edna Valley. A girlfriend of
because
mine.
of the label?
The label is lovely. No, but a girlfriend of mine, the one who suggested buttery wines. So, anyway, whatever you want to think about that. But she had suggested this to me, my girlfriend Erica. And so I've been drinking that. And I
Really?
like it. Yeah.
And you didn't know it was
no,
that?
No, not until.
That's so cool.
Yeah. So it's kind of exciting. I've been drinking you even before I met you.
Don't say you've been drinking him.
Oh, please. I didn't mean it weird unless you want me to mean it weird. I hope your wife listens to this and doesn't hate us.
Cheers. I'm excited.
Cheers. So in terms of personality, it's a bit more
This
vibrant.
is amazing. And I'm
Yeah.
not just saying that.
So it jumps out a bit more.
It jumps out at me all right.
It has
does.
personality. You hear it, you feel it when it enters a room, just like us.
Indeed.
I'm sorry, Matt. We were like, oh yeah, we'll talk about all the wives in terms of the Housewives, but Danielle said each of the wines reminds her of her.
Guys, I mean, I'm living it, so I gotta say it.
This is really good.
Well, Sauvignon Blanc, to me, it's just a crunchy, vibrant, really delicious drink. And it's dangerously good because you pour it and you share it and you're standing there talking and you got friends that are around. Next thing, the bottle's empty and you're going to have to open something else.
And I didn't realize genuinely that I always thought Sauvignon Blanc was like so sweet. And so I've kind of like stayed away from it over the years. But then I realized I was wrong and that lately, or at least maybe I just had ones I didn't like or that weren't that great. This isn't that sweet at all. It's refreshing in a good way, but it's not I think of Sauvignon Blanc as very sweet.
Yeah, well, different Sauvignon Blancs. New Zealand's really powerful and very strong drinks, and I love them because I think I can sort of understand them, but they're pretty hard to drink, more than a glass or two or three.
Because they're so sweet.
It's the strength of the flavour. Our wine, our Sauvignon Blanc from the Central Coast is really balanced. In fact, everything we do at Edna Valley is about balance, just making it nice and easy to drink. So
this really is just easy.
Indeed.
It tastes really good.
But it comes in kind of a little, like for me anyway, a little powerful, which I like, and then kind of smooths out, which I think is, I like it to make itself known and then go away. It does.
It's like, hi, now please leave.
Yes, exactly. Like, we've had fun, go from my mouth, and now I'll have another. Like, that's kind of, which I enjoy. I'm really loving this.
This is really good. Now, is this one your favorite, Danielle?
Yes.
I got a funny feeling by the time we get to the last wine.
Yeah.
We'll see. Only
that was
time
really
will tell.
good. I mean, if you can just tell our listeners, since they're not drinking this, Matt, like what kind of flavors are in this?
So Sauvignon Blanc, I think my favourite flavour in it is actually passion fruit.
Really?
And the grapes, they actually change, as they change colour and flavour. It goes from sort of a grassiness, which sounds really weird, but then limes and then lemons, and then it hits passion fruit. And that's when I start picking the grapes. So there's a little bit of passion fruit, there's a little bit of lime, a little bit of lemon in there, and it's refreshing and crunchy sort of texture.
How does that happen? Does it just the soil from things around? Like, how do all those flavor get in that grape?
Basically, the climate that we grow it in. So in San Luis Obispo, where we grow a lot of our grapes, we're only 5 miles from the Pacific Ocean, and the Pacific Ocean in San Luis Obispo is freezing. It's in the 50s, even in the middle of summer. So that means it's a cool climate. The flavours take a long time to develop, and you get this wonderful balance of acidity, which gives it the freshness and the crunchiness, and the flavours.
And Matt, does your marriage have a balance of acidity?
I think you'll have to ask Sesh, my wife.
Great.
Yes, yeah.
Great. Well, that was great.
That was,
and
really, guys,
really
it's
like
only $12.
That's $12?
It's practically free. Yes.
That is a great price for this wine. A great price.
That's really, really good. And can you get that? Where can you get this?
So I can tell you that this is nationally distributed, so it's all over the country.
Are you proud of yourself?
Oh no, it's a team effort. I'm the lucky person that's here sitting with you guys.
Are you the face of the wine, though? Like,
I am.
you? Yeah.
Yeah.
It's really, really good.
And now we're going to the wine that put us on the map. So, and Danielle, you mentioned this. So Edna Valley Chardonnay. It's actually a wine. When I was in Australia and I was looking to move over here, and I said to my career mentor, I said, oh, look, I'm looking to go to San Luis Obispo, Edna Valley. And he said, that is an awesome wine. And this is a guy that's really highly respected in the Australian wine industry. And it was all about the Chardonnay. So Edna Valley was started by the Niven family in the 1970s, and they planted Chardonnay in San Luis Obispo, and they made a wine that became famous all throughout California, then all throughout America, and then globally. And this is the wine, Edna Valley Chardonnay. So Chardonnay's awesome. It's creamy. It can be buttery. It can be toasty.
Yes, it can.
And we try and put a little bit of that, a little bit of buttery, a little bit of creaminess.
And so is this from, what year is this that we're going to try?
So this is 2014.
Okay.
So this is the first vintage I'd moved over. And it's our current wine that's out in market. So if you're out,
do you live
shopping,
on the property? I'm genuine, not joking this time. I live like on the property where
I
your
live
wine
in San
is?
Luis Obispo, but it's a tiny community.
Right, so you
yeah, I'm only 10 miles actually from the winery.
And now I've been written a note by someone in our presence, by Lindsay, and she just wrote to me, cougar juice. Wow.
This is cougar juice.
Known as cougar juice?
For all our listeners identifying as cougars, which I think cougars don't know they're cougars.
So if you don't think you're a cougar, you're a cougar.
Yeah, exactly. Okay, I'm going to try this. I'm excited. Okay, this is the Chardonnay.
Okay.
It is indeed. And I've got to say, tipping to Lindsay here, a bit of credit. She thinks this is a bit like Vicky.
This has Vicky written all over it.
It is buttery.
Vicky created Wines by Wives, and I think wished that this was...
Was there ever a bottle that was truly done? Like, was it just a title and then they stood in front of things?
It was like a prototype that never...
But a bottle never was made. A grape was never squeezed.
No. Who was she in business with that on?
Tamara. Those ladies could not
This
get that.
definitely... I know buttery seems to be like a bad word in the wine business. It tastes a little buttery, but I like buttery.
I like
this
this
has got a
buttery. I
sweetness
enjoy
too.
a buttery.
Cougar juice, this is definitely is.
It goes down lovely.
Oh, yeah. I mean, this is something you could just throw back about 4 or 5 and not even think
Oh, yeah.
twice.
This goes down smooth as silk.
Yeah. Wow.
Yeah. I could see Vicky just with a straw at lunch.
What other tastes are in this? Like, what are the...
So the primary flavors for me come from the fruit, and there's actually a peachiness about the wine. Mm-hmm. So it's sort of like a soft, fresh, fuzzy peach, summer peach that is just juicy and quite a little bit sweet. And then there's a toastiness and almost a nuttiness that comes from wood age, so barrel fermentation and wood age. And then there's the butteriness, and that's the creamy, soft finish. So that's what makes it really a versatile wine, because some Chardonnay drinkers love the butteriness, and they're like, I'm not drinking Chardonnay unless it tastes like butter. Others find that it's a little bit overpowering, and so we've tried to hit the balance. We're not trying to be everything to everyone, but it's a balanced wine, so it's got a little bit of everything for a Chardonnay.
So what would you eat with this?
So I'm a risotto fan. In fact,
Like an Amy's Light and Lean, frozen dinner.
A Trader Joe's burrito. And you popped
pair
out of
with
the
this?
microwave.
actually,
bunch
the
of
Trader Joe's
Starburst.
tikka masala is bloody good, and I'd have that with this. That's an easy way to
I
do
mean,
it.
I'm just thinking of what I eat in a week. So yeah, 3 Starbursts, 4
So nice with
Twizzlers.
Tootsie Rolls.
No,
good.
look. This is it's an unassuming wine, so you can drink it by itself. You can drink it with mates. You can have it with hors d'oeuvres. But something like a risotto or a chicken dish, that's a more sort of classic match.
Now, Matt,
but
I
there's
have
no rules.
to
If you want to
say-
drink it with a glass of, with a ice block in it,
You can.
do it.
I liked the Sauvignon Blanc better, but I think that's because I like Sauvignon Blanc
Yeah.
better.
Now, I am used to a Chardonnay and used to the End of Valley Chardonnay, so I gravitate that, but I surprised myself tonight, you guys.
Oh, Lord.
And then I'm not a Sauvignon Blanc drinker, and I truly enjoyed that Sauvignon Blanc.
Yeah.
So as
it
much
was
as
really, it was really refreshing.
as much as
So good.
the buttery Edna Valley Chardonnay felt like home, the Sauvignon Blanc felt like a vacation home that I might move to.
Now, I haven't been drinking water in between, but I'm going to cleanse my palate.
And while you guys do that, I'm actually going to open our next wine. So the next wine is from Talbot Estate. So Talbot Estate is... So unlike all of the
So
other
you didn't
wines-
make this one?
No.
Okay.
No. Unlike all of the other wines
Competitor.
that have been tasted tonight, we've had a little taste of, this is from a single vineyard. So it's a
Vineyard.
very special... Did I say that wrong?
No, you said
No,
it
you said it
beautifully.
amazingly.
Okay. Well, thank you very
Just
much.
when you say something in a way that we'd like to say things, we have to note it.
So this vineyard is a very special part of the world. It's up in the northern Monterey County, so it's just near Salinas, but it's on the Santa Lucia Highlands. It's a bit of dirt that was planted to a vineyard in the 1970s, and it's Talbot Estate Chardonnay. So this is the Cayley Heart, and
Oh,
I'm going to crack it open. So this is a screw cap.
I love a screw cap.
Now,
Me too.
Who are we
this
fooling?
is what everything should be sealed under, because no tools are required. You can just open
Why
the
aren't
bottle.
people doing that? Why are people relying on corks? It's like before we had polio vaccine. You know what I mean?
I agree. We're living in the dark ages.
Right?
So I get frustrated as a winemaker because I want people to be able to get to my wine and drink it. So Talbot have done this, and they actually pioneered this for expensive estate-grown Chardonnays and Pinot Noirs. They've sealed everything under screw cap.
Wow.
And it's a real leadership position in the wine world. Now, I don't want to get too nerdy about it, but here's the sales
late.
pitch. It is too late. It's too easy to open, and God forbid you can't drink the whole thing. It's really easy to just put the screw cap on and drop it in the fridge and finish it tomorrow night.
Yeah.
That's the thing I love about it. So it's
I know,
a delicious wine.
I opened a Prosecco again on Thanksgiving. I know, I talk a lot about it, and then I couldn't find the cork, and so I had to drop a spoon in it. It was just a
That
whole
doesn't work.
thing. Does that not work?
No.
I'm counting on that.
Now, I like this one. I like yours better, and I'm not trying to be rude.
No,
I
but
like
that's-
this. They're different.
They are different. This is a richer Chardonnay. So
Richer,
it's-
yes,
yeah.
yes.
It's got a lot more flavour. It's a stronger Chardonnay, and that's perhaps mostly because of where it comes from. It comes from just this single vineyard. It's old
Not because of
vines.
the screw cap.
No, the screw cap just protects it, makes sure that
Right.
it stays exactly the same way as it was the day it was bottled. It's a really good way of looking after the bottle
Yeah.
of wine.
I like it.
I like it, but I don't like it as much as the Edna Valley. I'm
Yeah.
just going to be honest.
Now, if I may, I love hearing what you're saying about the Edna Valley. That's really floating my boat. But imagine this wine with a meal. So this is a wine that perhaps it's stronger flavour, richer wine. So maybe you want to have something else with it. And this is the sort of concept of food pairing with wines. I think all the wines up to this point, they are so relaxed and comfortable. You don't.
You
need
could
to
kind of have them on their own.
Exactly. Whereas this one, you might want to wait till you've served an entree even and actually serve this wine.
Yeah, because this seems like you would have like one glass of it, like a nice glass with food versus just drinking like 7 glasses of the Sauvignon Blanc.
Again, on your own.
And feeling badly about yourself the next day and like, do I have a problem? This I like, but I think it is richer.
Yeah.
What are the flavors in this one that you're...
So I'm seeing more of... So before I described a peach flavour in the Edna Valley Chardonnay, this one's actually a little bit stronger in flavour. It's almost I'm going to say glacéed pineapple. So that's like a pineapple. Pineapple. There's a bit of a pineapple-y flavour. And baked apple. So almost like an apple pie, but you peel the crust back and you just eat the apple filling.
I taste that.
And so with that, there's that little bit of brown spice, that sort of almost holiday spice flavour in there. And it's stronger in flavour.
Now, if we blindfolded you, do you think you would know your Chardonnay from this one?
Oh, God. Yeah, of course.
Because, I know my wife.
No, because one time on my honeymoon in Italy, we played that with the sommelier. I was just drunk and trying to be funny, and he got them all wrong. And when I tell you, he was having a nervous breakdown. When he took off the blindfold, he almost had tears in his eyes. He's like, I could have sworn that was the Pinot.
Casey, so are you telling us you ruined a man's life?
Sounds like
on your honeymoon?
And it was fun.
We were like, it's okay. We're just playing with you. And he was new, and it was tough.
That man today is destitute.
See, but that's a really sad thing to hear because wine's not about being serious. It's about having fun.
Yeah, Matt, that's what I said.
Yeah, he took it way too seriously. He should have got everything wrong deliberately and said, well, let's drink to that.
Yeah, that's right. I like your attitude.
You know what I think we should drink to? The Pinot Noirs we're going to try.
Okay, so Pinot, I've got a confession here. I'm a Pinophile. That's a really nerdy wine way of saying I love Pinot. It's my favourite wine to make.
You're pulling it off, but it's tough. It's tough to accept.
Yeah, Pinophile is hard to say.
But, okay, so put Pinot Noir kind of on the scale for us. I know most people probably know this, but what's your biggest reds? And this is like a lighter red, right?
Yes. So let's go from really heavy and then down, and we'll end up at Pinot Noir. So start with Petit Syrah.
Love it.
Cabernet Sauvignon, Zinfandel, Syrah, GSM, which is Grenache, Syrah, Mourvedre blends.
Never even heard of that.
Might not know about them, but out of Santa Ynez Valley, just the north from here, makes some beautiful GSMs.
I got married in Santa Ynez at a vineyard.
Wow. But there's some awesome vineyards that we work with out of there. And then you hit Pinot Noir. And out of the Central Coast, there's probably 3 main areas that we make it from. In Santa Barbara County, which is where Santa Ynez is, the Santa Maria Valley in particular, and then San Luis Obispo, and then actually Monterey County. So Edna Valley, which is the one we've just served, is a blend across those 3 counties. So it's a Central Coast appellated. It's a lighter style of Pinot. So Pinot, it's not meant to be heavy. It's meant to be sort of soft and silky.
That's like me, how I feel about myself. Just the truth.
Now, I'm not a
that smells
huge
good.
red wine drinker.
It seems like you will be tonight. I see you diving in.
All right.
So this is your bridge wine. This is going to bring you from
smells nice.
white to
Smells
red.
really good.
Yeah.
The other
So-
wines I didn't smell before I drank. Is that bad?
No. Do you know,
That's good. This is my favorite one so far.
there we go. We're topping the charts already. So
That's
no,
really nice. Cozy up by a fire.
yes.
This is Edna
You and
Valley.
Sasha cozying up to this one?
See, Pinot's a Sashi's favourite. So
Sashi?
Yeah, or Sasha, Sashi. Sashi.
Are you using a pet
Guys?
name this whole time?
Guys,
No, it's the
I
same.
love this.
Good to hear.
I thought you, I don't know. You're going to say, I don't know what I thought.
It's lovely. It's so smooth. I was expecting a little more spice or something, and it was so creamy. I was impressed.
I really like this. What are the flavors in this? And I'm sorry I keep asking the same question, but we don't know a lot about wine, so that's the question I keep thinking to ask.
So again, I would say that this is a wine that has sort of red and black fruit. So
Yes.
if you've made a sort of a blackberry jam in the past, it's sort of got a little bit of that flavour. It's very soft, very creamy in terms of texture. So this is a wine that you can drink it by yourself, but it works beautifully.
I
with
have to
Christmas
say, though,
for
it's
you.
not as light as other Pinot Noirs. In a way, it's so good. This is something you would impress people by bringing. And that's the whole point. Danielle and I are doing this to try to tell you what you could bring to someone's house, or you could have for Christmas, or you could bring for New Year's.
And again, an amazing
is
price
really
point.
good.
$15.
$15.
Now, I have a question. Would Sashi like us?
She would love you. Honestly, it's
Really?
yeah.
Do you think she would?
Despite
Enjoy
our
it?
feelings for you. No, she seems lovely.
I mean,
I picture her as a very earthy, gorgeous, effortlessly beautiful kind of winemaker's wife who's probably leaning in and really the brains behind the operation kind of woman.
Oh, she is all of those things and more.
Yeah,
Yes.
and more.
is Sashi Australian?
I was afraid
She
you were going
is,
to say
yeah.
that.
She's Australian. I know. That's the real kicker.
I
I
don't
was like,
see you running around with an American.
yeah, I was like, she's not from like Binghamton.
Not from Miami-Dade.
Yeah, she's definitely like foreign and beautiful and
And she knows it,
exotic.
but she's not rude about it. She's humble.
No, she's like on the website of Hey Mama Co. You know, and
Now I don't know what you're saying, Danielle. Don't know what Hey Mama Coat is. Anyway, Matt, back to the wines. This is really good.
Oh, awesome.
I do sense blackberry.
yes.
Thank you.
It's,
I know you said it, but I'm just repeating it.
you're like, yeah, I discovered that.
And so this is the wine that I think can also bring people who don't drink Pinot to Pinot. So Danielle, as you said, it's a wine that, you know, it's unexpected. It's got more flavour, but it's not heavy. So,
Right, it's got a lot of flavor.
yeah, so
and I
big
like
red
a big
drinkers
red.
can drink it.
Thank you.
Yeah.
No, I'm happy.
Good to hear.
That's really good. I genuinely keep going back to it. It's really, really good, and it smells so good.
That's what I was saying. That
I stand behind that one.
Now we're
really
moving
good.
to our final red. So we've kept it pretty light on the reds, and it's because I think with the sort of Christmas meal, celebration meal, you start early, you go hard. So you're drinking lots of whites and everyone's chatting and having a good old time, and then the reds roll out with the meal. So we'll just have a couple of reds with the meal, and then we might have some more sparkling champagne or something to finish. So we're finishing off with the Talbot Cayley Hart Pinot Noir. So this again comes from the Talbot estate in Monterey County. It's a sophisticated Pinot. So whereas Edna Valley is
Yours
a lovely...
is like a white trash Pinot.
Yeah, that's it. Yeah, it is.
that fits me like a glove.
So this is one that, again, like the Chardonnay, I'd sort of look to having this definitely with a meal, and maybe sort of sitting down and, you know,
Do you
bit
have a
more
glass of wine
ceremony.
every night?
Wine or a beer? Actually, it takes a lot of beer to make wine, which is an admission I think a lot of winemakers would make. You know, you work all day, and we actually taste a lot of wine during the day, so there's
What about
nothing
pot?
more refreshing.
I'm just curious. As a winemaker,
Yeah.
do you dabble in those darker arts, or
Black tar heroin. Like what are your feelings?
There's no snowstorms around winemakers, I'd say. So in that side of things, but look, we're hedonistic. You know, wine is about enjoying life. So if that's one way you can enjoy yourself, then I'm not going to judge. Go
Right.
for it.
now we'll try. This is
So this is
Talbot
Talbot's Cayley Hart Pinot Noir.
Cayley Hart.
Yeah.
Okay.
Name for a girl.
Yeah, so Robert Talbot, who founded the winery, it's his daughter. So the range of wines are named after her.
Okay.
That's really good too. I really like that one.
So this is a little more French or regal, a little more of a Luan.
Hello. Look
someone-
who knows
There you
so
go.
much.
Brushed up.
Well, Matt, aren't you the expert?
God, Danielle.
She's about the only one to remember.
The name dropping of Lou, Countess de Lesseps.
It's the Countess that I like. That's a cool name.
I really like this, and you know, it does. I don't even know I don't have the vocabulary, but it's it's really full, and I loved your Pinot Noir too. But this is really different.
It is.
And really good.
Now, much like the Countess, I love her, but I am I'm a little more, I like the softer one a little more, which was the Edna Valley, was a little more my speed because I don't drink a lot of reds.
Yeah. And Matt, as much as I love you, I think I personally probably prefer this one. Really? There's something about, I don't know, I don't want to say it's fruity, jammy. There's something like really warm about it that I think is really good. And I love them both. But I probably prefer this one.
So you don't like Matt.
So I hate Matt's wife. Wait.
Sashi, are you listening?
You know what, Sashi? I've had about enough of you. Oh, man. This one is really good.
It's a lovely wine. It's a serious wine. You know, it's a wine that I think has...
Thank you. No one's ever said that about me before.
True. No, I like it too, but I would say the Edna Valley if I, had to choose between babies.
Yeah. I think my favorites so far were this, and so sorry, Matt, the Pinot Noir, Talbot Pinot Noir, and your Sauvignon Blanc.
Awesome.
I'm going to say the Edna
All of them.
Valley Sauvignon Blanc and the Edna Valley Pinot Noir. So that's where I stand, in case anyone's curious.
This has been really wonderful. And now I understand that we're going to preview a rosé.
Yeah, I want to preview rosé.
So do I.
As I said, I love making Pinot, but I've just made an Edna Valley rosé that we're actually not going to release till spring next year. And part of the inspiration for rosé, I've got to say, is I'm going to mention Sesh again. Sesh and I worked in France in 2002, and then we holidayed in Prano, which is on the Amalfi Coast. And all we drank was rosé.
Of course. That's how I got hooked on it, is from the Amalfi Coast.
Dry, savoury rosés. And I was like, this is brilliant. So we're going to take that sort of approach and make an Edna Valley rosé. And as a bit of inspiration, we've got a Provençal rosé called Fleur de Mer, which also is going to be released here in the States for spring next year.
And is this yours, this Fleur de Mer?
No, it's not mine, but it comes from Provence. It's obviously Provence in the south of France, similar style to what I was talking about in Italy, but just a lovely, savoury, again, sort of sophisticated rosé.
And you don't drink rosé in the colder weather?
I always have a bottle of rosé in my fridge.
Really?
It's my go-to. I call it a thoughtless wine. It's the wine that if I want to get home and Sash and I need to have a chat, I just open the rosé and pour a couple of glasses, cook something, bottle's gone. Didn't have to think about it.
What I read between those lines is when my wife needs to bitch at me.
And Real Housewives.
And drown her the fuck out.
Oh, God. Okay, let's try this. This is the Fleur de Mer.
Yes.
Did I say that right?
Ooh, that's nice.
Wow.
That's really
That's
nice.
so fucking good. You know why? Because it doesn't have any, and I'm going to say it. No, I am going to say it. Whispering Angel has a very bad aftertaste.
Yes,
I've
it does.
noticed.
And people have said
and
that
it's crept
to us.
up on me more and more and more. And I didn't just notice it after our falling out. I swear I didn't. I would never do that. But it's such a nice, smooth finish. There's no aftertaste whatsoever. It's just a crisp, and it's not too sweet.
And holy crap, under $20?
How much is it?
How much? Under 20. So I guess that
Probably
0,
$19.99.
3, 7. I don't know. It's under 20.
It's $2?
$2. Now the fact that you
Guys, I could get behind this big time.
the fact that you made a rosé with your wife in mind makes,
He didn't make this one, remember?
Okay, then I'm not gonna say it.
He has made one that's coming out, but this is a different one. But this is quite good. Côte de Provence. We sound so stupid. I cannot believe I said to someone this was only the wine that I said, like, I got into rosé on the Amalfi Coast too. Like, who the hell do I think I am? But I did.
Yeah.
This is really good.
It's lovely.
It's a lovely drink, and quite honestly, it screams springtime. But I have bottles in my fridge, and I drink it all throughout the year. I think rosé is a lovely wine, and you guys, you're at the vanguard. You know, people are jumping on what you've been drinking.
Yeah.
And I think there's good reason. It's a really enjoyable wine. You don't have to think about it. There's no rules. Just throw an ice block in it and enjoy it.
You can call it a day.
Yep.
That's really good. It's crisp and kind of, that goes down real
but it has like
nice.
a little bit of a zest to it, so where I was kind of like mellow from the reds.
It's mellow. It's not sleepy.
Yeah.
And it's really nice. Wow. I don't know. I love that one too.
Decisions.
I mean,
have to pick a fave?
there aren't winners or losers. The great thing about this is that Lindsay said, I'm just going to introduce you guys to some wines that she works with and loves as just for fun. And I feel like there's so many great ones.
We found so many winners here, guys, and so many good prices. I can't, when I'm looking at these prices, I'm like, the fact that the Edna Valley Sauvignon Blanc is $12.
Because all I've ever wanted is a wine that's not that expensive that I don't have to be embarrassed to bring somewhere. Like, that's where I feel in my head. It's just like, I want something people can be like, that's good. Like a cheat sheet.
People that like Trader Joe's, like Blue Moon, $3 wine.
Don't bring that.
No,
you can. I think that's the thing about wine, right?
Well, as long as you like it.
I don't.
Now, what gives us the hangover?
Don't drink it.
Is there any wines, Matt, this is off topic, but very much on topic, that I could have less of a hangover?
Oh, look, I struggle with that one because I've heard so many different theories that reds do it, whites do it, mixing your drinks do it.
Right there with you.
I've tried all of those things and not in controlled experiments, but I've had way too much of all of those things, and I just think it's overdoing it. Full stop.
Right.
I've got a new theory.
Mixed with age.
Yes.
Yeah.
Oh, God. That's
Mixed with
killing
age
me.
and your own personal sadness. I'm talking about myself.
You can't be talking about Matt and Sashi.
No, Matt and Sashi are doing it.
They're
just fine.
rock solid, cracking open a bottle of rosé.
Talking of my own sadness.
Living life.
No, Matt
Danielle's, all of your stories seem to be drinking the wine alone.
Well, yeah,
You're always like, I was fumbling for the cork by myself with a spoon.
I had a noose in one hand. Kidding.
Matt. So no hangover cures that you can offer.
Miso soup is the only thing that
Really?
I turn to all the time.
Right
I love
after
it.
or in the morning?
Even, sometimes if I'm really drunk, it'll be at night. And I'm like, this is going to help me in the morning.
And no amount of water helps you during the day, or...
I try and mix it, have water with...
Yeah.
But no, you still get that bloody headache and you feel like you've been
But
hit by
it's
a
so
bus.
worth it. And then you live the day and you're like, you know what? I'm not going to do it.
I'm never going to drink again.
And then it comes and you're like, I got to.
Yep.
Some people say it's the sugar. Is it sugar? No.
No.
It's just
No.
booze.
Yeah, it's just alcohol.
I'll tell you what, these have all been amazing.
Yeah, I'm really impressed.
I'm very impressed that you even came to the Nook to do this.
I'm flattered to be here. I love it.
And we're going to post all of the wines and the prices on our Facebook page, which you can just find Bitch Sesh if you just search that on Facebook.
Yeah, and we'll put it on Instagram too.
Yes, and you can see what you like. I mean, there's so many wines out there, but these were all really, really good. And I'm not just saying that. And again, Danielle and I have no stake in this.
From this. We
did get drunk on a Monday. And that's enough for me.
Mm-hmm. That's all I need.
Matt,
I'm pretty
anything
happy
else
too.
you want to say?
No, look, I've absolutely loved this. And I was really looking forward to coming down, having a glass or two or, several glasses of wine with you guys.
You're so sweet for doing that and taking our ways. I feel like we've turned into the women at what's the Upper East Side restaurant they always
Boutique.
We're
old boutique cougars drinking our
cougar
sauce.
I'm like, oh, look at that winemaker.
I know. I don't know what we devolved into. I'm not proud of it, but I stand by it.
But you're lovely, and this has been so fun. And I want to thank my friend Lindsay Libman and Colleen Durney, and thank you, of course, Matt Steele, and all the winemakers that made these wonderful wines for me to get drunk with
on a Monday evening.
On a Monday Eve. Wow. Thanks.
Thank you.
Thanks, Danielle. Thanks, Casey.
Thank you.
Okay, guys. Casey here again, solo. But I have to break our silence in December because it is too important to not discuss the first 2 episodes of Mariah's World. If you're not watching it, you're a fool. You are an idiot. Okay. This is the best television I've ever seen. The pilot is free, as it should be. And I was willing by the 2nd episode to pay any amount. Okay, Mariah, right off the bat, she describes it as a documentary, which I appreciate. It's not. It's a reality show, but it's so important. It's so well done. She lets it all hang out. And I have left, not only with greater respect for her, I'm hooked on her. She's got her breathy voice where we meet a cast of characters in the first episode. There's a tough opening shot of 2 backup dancers in Vegas lifting Mariah on their shoulders, and they seem to be having a tough time with that. But here's why, and here's what. I'm much bigger than Mariah, so this is truly not me calling her out for her weight, but her body confounds me. She shapeshifts. I can't make heads or tails of that body. And if you have any thoughts, I'd love it. Again, not to criticize, just what am I seeing? I'd love to know because my eyes are confused and intrigued, honestly, just intrigued. I will say, at points, she says things that are amazing, such as, quote, I really didn't even have the time or care to do the whole Mariah, I'm nice to everyone thing. So that she's just like doing her in such an amazing way. She also opens with her British alter ego named Bianca in a painful British accent. And I read claims that she did the alter ego thing before Beyonce. Okay. I love Mimi. You know, I met her when I was on Saturday Night Live. She did the music, I think for a holiday show. And afterwards, you know, when everyone's like hugging on stage, she threw her arms around me and said the following, which I'll never forget. I couldn't understand the first part, but I did get, CSI. And I said, excuse me? And she said, CSI. That's Mariah. So I'll say at one point, well, many points she just says simply, it's time for a splash. And that means she needs a drink. And I really appreciate that. During all of her testimonials, not a joke, she is laid out horizontal on a chaise lounge in fishnets and furs, just being Mimi, you know? And just like, but it's so funny to see her like in this boudoir, like it's so over the top. It's such a diva, but she's talking about such mundane things. So she's laid out with like champagne flute and she's like, I don't understand. You know, I did hire a new manager, just getting into the nit grit. Now, speaking of her new manager, is a woman named Stella, who is quite a character and honestly a bigger diva than Mimi. She is kind of Leah Remini mixed with Punky Brewster. And Mariah and Stella are like single moms bopping around together with their kids. And also Mariah's backup singer, Marianne, and her son, Jaden, the three of them are single moms, and they're on this world tour together with their kids. And Marianne, her backup singer, does this testimonial where she's just like, Mariah's so nice to let me, you know, I've been singing with her for years. I'm the backup singer. It's very unusual for someone to let a backup singer bring their young son on a tour. So I'm so thankful. And I'm thinking like, that's so sweet, Mariah. Hard cut to Mariah walking up to Marianne and saying, where's Jaden? My kids want to play with him. And Marianne goes, I think he's with the tutor at school, but I could get him. So everyone's like really kind of at Mariah's beck and call. Speaking of, Stella then hires an assistant, and her entire storyline over 2 episodes is trying to get Mariah's Apple TV set up. Now, April's taping this and has been there. And I would venture to say I am harder to work for, in fact, than MC, as she's called. But her poor assistant cannot get the Apple TV set up. She's crying hysterically to Mariah's housekeeper. At points, she's like, oh my God, I don't know what to do. If MC doesn't have her Apple TV, she cannot sleep. If she cannot sleep, the tour will not come off. If the tour does not come off, everyone loses their jobs. At another point, Stella, the manager, calls her and she's like, are you fixing the Apple TV? And this poor girl's crying. She's like, I'm logged in with my own name. I will go out and get another Apple TV. To which point Stella, the manager, goes, so you're doing nothing. Guys, I will not spoil what happens with this Apple TV storyline, but it's amazing. Please know that Stella, the manager, came to us via one Brett Ratner, and that makes sense. Trying to think what else. Oh, she's amazing. Like, at one point she's talking about past collaborators that she doesn't feel are up to her standards, and she's like, oh my God, darling, some people I've worked with, they're bleak, darling, bleak. Question, does Mariah have a lisp? I think so, and I'm really great with it. Let's see. Oh, and the DVR, it says season 1. And I do feel kind of like I wanted to say to the DVR, sweetie, there will only be one season. We don't need to even call it a season. Like, this is it. But I would love to have more. I will say, like, I'm really worried, like, the tour is not going to come together. And we also see Mariah and her, like, who we now know is her former fiance, James Packer, on separate yachts in Capri, Italy. So that's, like, strange. They're about to get married in 2 weeks, and she's like, there's James looking through binoculars on the sea at a different yacht where he is. And that seems okay. Once again, Mariah's world, it's imperative. It's important. Drop what you're doing. Get into it, because we will be covering it, of course, in January and giving it more of the respect that it deserves. And Mimi has nothing but my respect. And I will say, also, when I was on SNL once, we went to this Time Magazine 100 like most influential people dinners, and Mariah was singing Hero. And I was sitting with, and not to name drop, but I will. I'll never forget. It was like Amy Poehler, Tina Fey, Kristen Wiig, and I are sitting together, and she came out, and we did a little bit. Like, I will speak for myself. I rolled my eyes, kind of like, oh, here she comes to do Hero. Guys, to this day, and I'm being 100% genuine, it was the most amazing live performance I've ever seen. And she's probably sang the song millions of times. It was so beautifully, so heartfelt. We were all sobbing. We leapt to our feet. And I'm like, she is who she is for a fucking reason. Great. Next up, guys, is Beverly Hills. They're back. The bitches are back. And I will say, Lisa's doing a Dusty Springfield 60s hairstyle, which I like. Kyle seems to have settled into herself, her hair, and her personality. Dorit seems nice, but maybe a dud, rocking very deep cleavage. Kyle's kind of picking up on people's British accents, which feels very akin to her splits for me. And I feel like not too much going on. I need more Eden Sassoon. That's what I just kept yelling to the screen. Now, I've only watched the first episode. I know there have been 2 aired. Bear with me, guys. We're off this month. I just wanted to get a few little thoughts out there. When Lisa Rinna got her new car given to her by Harry Hamlin, I really felt like, wow, Harry loves Lisa. And then as I typed that, I realized that was the name of a reality show they had. Harry loves Lisa. So I guess that's a sentiment that's been out there. I feel like Lisa says at one point, Lisa Rinna goes, I don't have time right now for a whole lot of bullshit. But me thinks she'll carve out some time. The biggest news flash in the pilot, I guess it's not the pilot, I'm sorry, the first episode of this last season is that Eileen has gotten a stylist. Danielle will be so happy. Eileen's covered her gray-brown bang streak, but unfortunately, she still talks like my mom, saying people are a hoot. But her hair does look beautiful, and she looks great. And I gotta say, and I know this is so superficial, and I really hate this about myself, and I'm looking into this character flaw, but seeing her with styled differently makes me like her more. In testimonial, Kyle is unfortunately showing a little too much forehead, but other than that, Erica Jane is unstoppable as usual, collaborating with a woman named Pussy Control, who has fallen from grace, having worked with Prince before Erica. Eileen, at one point, they're going to Erica's, what is her, Studio 54 45th birthday party, which is just so weird. And Eileen's like wearing this like fur wrap, and she's like, okay, Lisa, unbelievably, this wrap was mine from the early 80s. This unbelievably. And I'm like, oh, sweetie, no, I believe that. I absolutely believe that. And at one point, Lisa Rinna says her daughter, Delilah, she says, modeling for Delilah came about very organically. No, it didn't, Lisa. Okay? She's like, Elite signed her right off Instagram. It's like, Delilah's featured on this show. And then we are treated for the rest of the episode to Erica's 45th birthday party, which makes me a little bit sad. She's like, you're only 45 once. And it's like, it's not a milestone, you know? And to do the party like a club, which we see in future episodes, Dorit's party is done like a boudoir again. And Danielle and I keep saying it. I'm old. I'm only marching towards death. But I feel like there's just such an emphasis on wanting to do these sexy, sexy parties that feels really kind of sad to me. And then the best part was that Erica greets her husband at the party, and April was watching with me, and she hasn't seen Beverly Hills, so she watched Erica. She came in halfway through and watched Erica greeting her husband, Mr. Girardi, at the party. And she thought it was basically her accountant, because she's the way she greeted him was so informal and formal, very formal. It was like she acted like he just showed up and she had to say hi really quick. It was so strange. And I'm like, that's her husband. And April's like, what? That's her husband? Not because he's so much older. I feel like that news clicked for April. It was more just like the interaction was so strange. I feel like she was like, oh, I gotta say hi to this guy. I will say, watching these women, you know, they love to dress up so much, particularly the actresses, and it really grosses me out. It's like, you do that for a living. Tamp down your excitement. Again, that's how I feel when I dress up, is like this thrill of like, yay, I'm in a costume, but I try to hide it. I will say Eileen gave Erica a cameo on Young and the Restless, and that's an amazing gift. And I'm really like the tide's turning with me on Eileen. And I will say I'm a little tiring of Lisa Rinna's kind of, she's just full of recovery slogans. And I don't mean to be offensive with that, but that seems to be like all she's got for her testimonials. And where the fuck is Eden? Where is she? I'll close out my coverage of Beverly Hills with a shocking quote made by Eileen, making me turn back against her. She says, and this is a quote, Lisa Vanderpump and I could have a meeting of the minds. I mean, look what happened in the Vietnam War. Long pause. Everyone's going there for vacation. So that's Beverly Hills. And now I'd just like to dip my toe into Ladies of London, if I may. If you haven't watched this, please get into it. If you wanted, you could start with season 2. although I do recommend all of them. It's really, really good, guys. It's much more wish fulfillment. It's much more higher end. I feel like I'm getting to see major, major, major wealth that none of us could ever dream of. For instance, Caroline Stanbury's everything. She's now moving to Dubai, and there's a full scene where a design team presents her with photos of what her closet will look like in Dubai, and I'm not kidding. It's the most insane thing I've ever seen. And these are virtual photos of a closet that are bigger than estates I've seen in Beverly Hills. Caroline, the other Caroline, is from Denmark. She's a goddamned nut. And I think, and I hate to say this, I really do, and I don't mean to offend, but there seems to be in her lineage some, I don't know what's going on. Both her and this is hard to say. Both of these things are hard to say. I'm trying to think of the yoga one. I always forget her name. Julie's husband, and Caroline, the Denmark one, both seem to have had major incest in their ancestry, unfortunately. The Americans are the most embarrassing people, though, by far. With Jules is always crying and falling apart. And I do feel like, again, I'm on fire. I don't mean to offend. Look, I have a lovely yoga instructor who's unbelievable and the most well person I've ever met. But some yoga instructors, if you really peel back a layer, they're the most scattered, just messes you've ever seen in your life. And Julie is living that out loud. Tori Spelling and Dean McDermott show up. It's a great show, and I don't feel like I'm selling you enough, but it really, really is great, and we'll be covering it again. That's where we're at. Still watching Atlanta, fucking loving it. We're going to get back into Atlanta, of course. We're going to continue to follow Beverly Hills. We're going to get into Mariah's world. We're going to touch down with Ladies of London. I refuse to discuss Vanderpump. Everything will be great in 2017. I think everything's going to be fixed in the world. Just kidding. We will be back on January 4th. Thank you guys so much. I hope you have a really happy holiday. One more thing. We are releasing Danielle's Christmas classic, Christmas in the Berkshires, aka I Made It Nice, for free as an MP3. Look for it on our Facebook page, which is just called Bitch Sesh, run by Danielle and April and I. We'll also tweet it. I really think it's a great one to add if you're going caroling or if you're going door to door, maybe, at church you're singing something, because it's an instant Christmas classic. And thank you to Mike Furman, who helped us make that happen. And again, also just join our Facebook page. We're posting a lot of dates and upcoming shows. We're going to be in Austin. We're going to be in Chicago. We're going to be in New York. Although our 3 New York shows are sold out. God bless you all. And our Chicago and Austin's on sale now. Chicago will not be on sale for a while. And we're going to come to Seattle and Portland. All of this in 2017. Thank you guys. Bye.
It's Christmas in the Berkshires. It's my favorite time of year. John got called in for a jizz stain, so can't make it out here. I called the girls to come out for some joy and birthday cake, but not Miss Sonia Morgan, and I did it for her sake. The tree is trimmed with tinsel, creepy Santas and more, and all was going perfect till Bethany called Lou a whore. I made it nice, I made it nice, I decorated, I cooked, I made it nice. You have no class, so kiss my ass, and if you all can't behave, you'll all go home. I'm feeling all these feelings as the room begins to swoon. The emotions are bubbling up, like when I saw my deceased husband in a balloon. Lou just accused Bethany of having her hair, and Carol's last summers are passing there. Ramona is rambling, Jules pistachios in pain. I need something to stop this, an old friend. It's called
thinking that's kind of thick this rich, but you didn't know they call you Berkshires? You did your correctly. Berkshire can't go together, you know. I made it nice.
It's Christmas morning, now in the Berkshires. My friends have left a mess. Bethany left some skinny girl ham, and Ramona stole a dress. I don't remember much. We sang carols once or twice, but one thing I know in my heart: I decorated, I cooked, and I made it nice!
Hello, I'm Chris Gethard, and here with me is dream analysis expert
Gary Richardson.
And we are here to give you a taste of a brand new podcast called In Your Dreams, presented exclusively by the fine folks at Casper.
We listen to the wildest, weirdest dreams submitted to us by you, our listeners, and we do our best to figure out just what those dreams could possibly mean.
I look over the side of my bunk bed, and there are Huey Lewis and the News.
You're saying this person might have interests in style and fashion specifically. You can
I'm
tell
saying-
that from
I'm
that
saying
voicemail.
99% certainty.
Plus, we'll be joined by some very special guests.
The word mortality comes to mind.
Mortality?
Blood.
Bloodtality.
Subscribe to In Your Dreams right now on iTunes or wherever you get your podcasts. Thanks for listening.
Good night.
This has been an Earwolf production, executive produced by Scott Ackerman and Chris Bannon. For more information and content, visit earwolf.com.